With us tonight is Victoria DeFrancesco Soto, the Dean of the Clinton School of Public Service at the University of Arkansas and an MSNBC political analyst. Also, Michael Steele, former chairman of the Republican National Committee, former lieutenant governor of Maryland, and the host of the fabulous Michael Steele podcast. Good evening to both of you. Thank you for being with us. Vicki, I have to say, I think there are moments where we just make choices about our language, and this is one of them, right? I think we have to just stop calling this the attack on the Capitol, because the pivotal part of what happened on January 6th with each passing day seems not to have been the attack on the Capitol, as horrible as it was, but it was this forceful attack on democracy that was underway before and after, led by the former president of the United States.
It is, and it's viewed that way by many Americans, but there's also a segment, Allie, where we see folks viewing a parallel reality. And this is something that Donald Trump is very good at. And when I saw this clip, I had flashbacks to Charlottesville and to the speech that Donald Trump gave at the time, saying that there are very fine people on both sides. Donald Trump is extremely adept at taking rhetoric and normalizing things that are seen as not normal, as things that are unacceptable, and making them acceptable. And he is a master at this. We saw him do this with regards to talking about the Proud Boys. Now we're seeing this with January 6th. We've seen it drip, drip, drip over the past couple of weeks. And so this is something that we need to watch out for. And I'm going to go one step further, that not only is he normalizing the actions of January 6th, but he's framing them as that there's a balance being put into place for something that was unbalanced. And one point he usually likes to arrive at is that he's an underdog and fighting for the little guy. So keep this in mind as we see the rhetoric unfold over the next couple of months, next couple of years. He is very adept rhetorically at this.
Michael, here's the thing. Talking about things that Vicki was talking about that are not normal, that clown car of legal advisors that surrounded Donald Trump in the days after the election was not normal. And yet, when you read through this interesting New York Times article that has come out tonight describing the involvement that Donald Trump had in some of the worst things that happened, Rudy Giuliani looks like either the adult in the room or the adult lawyer in the room, or the one who still remembers some little bit of legal training, which would come as a surprise to many.
Well, yeah, I don't think it was that gracious a moment, beyond the fact that he figured that actually invoking the military to seize ballots from around the country, at least in the key areas that they were focused on, was a bridge too far for him. Look, the president was getting counsel from a whole host of people. And he was going typically outside the chain of command, if you will, inside the White House, beginning with the chief of staff and then going, of course, to the various other advisors, Homeland Security, et cetera, that would be involved in these types of discussions. To the extent that he did, he got rebuffed. And the one thing that I've come to know in working with Trump years before and watching him over certainly the last 5 or 6 years is he doesn't appreciate being rebuffed. This is a man who otherwise has his finger on the pulse on everything that's in his orbit. So this idea out here that a lot of people like to perpetuate, particularly in Trump world, that he's sort of not involved and we were talking about this and he was unaware, is bull. He has his finger on everything. And what the New York Times is reporting tonight gives you to the extent to which not only does he have his finger on it, but he's actually directing it. He's reaching and trying to reach a particular outcome, and he wants to manipulate the system internally and externally to reach that outcome. And to put a fine point on what Vicki was just saying, all the things she said about Trump is true, but here's the most important thing the American people need to take home tonight, as they should have 4 or 5 years ago. He is a dangerous man. He is a very dangerous man. And he is empowered by sycophants and grifters and others that perpetuates that dangerous nature that he has. And if you think that the last 4 years of Trump was crazy as hell, you haven't seen anything until you get into the retributive phase of his presidency in 2025 and beyond. and you've already got the indication, Allie, they want to put people in jail who served on the January 6th Commission, starting with Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. They want to put people in jail who blocked or refute their narrative. They want to free the people who tried to overthrow our Capitol. This is what we're dealing with, and America needs to wake up to the reality that the man on that stage in Texas is dangerous and needs to be stopped.
So I want to explore this a little more, Vicky, because to a lot of Republicans, I think they get the idea that Donald Trump is dangerous, but he's dangerous to their opponents. He's dangerous to the people they don't like. He's dangerous to the left. The problem here is that all of those dangers that Michael just outlined, the things that he said that Donald Trump has said out loud that he would do or wants to do, are fundamentally anti-democratic. How do you square this with Republicans who need to understand that he's dangerous for everybody, not just for Democrats?
Well, I think there's two camps. When we talk about the Republican Party, just like when we talk about the Democratic Party, we need to look at different slices of it, because I think that there is one slice of the Republican Party that really does see that he is a protector of the interests of the United States. So they have come to see a parallel reality. I keep coming back to this. And then I think we have the other part of the Republican Party that sees that, you know what, this is the lesser of two evils. It's in my self-interest. I've gone in too far. I've already gone this road. I can't pull back now. And I think we see a lot of this with regards to the attitudes in Congress, folks who have retired. So I think it's one base that is in it to win it, and they blindly believe in Donald Trump, and the other one that just, they went down a path that they can't take back.
I'm going to ask the two of you to stay, because this is a hearty and robust conversation that needs to continue, and Americans need to hear.